Isn't this great? I'm so glad we're doing this. I'm so glad you let me convince you to do this. I've wanted to come camping out here for so long. I couldn't think of anyone better to share this experience with. I know it was a long drive to get to the park, but I'm so happy we did it. I'm even happier that we hiked all the way up here, even if it took a whole day to do it. It was so worth it. From up here you can see for miles around, just the rolling hills and trees, so close to the sky. You could almost reach out and touch it. And that beautiful moon. Lugging that telescope up the mountain wasn't easy. But gosh, it was worth it. Don't you think? Yeah. And the look on your face was sure worth it. I'm so happy I get to share this with you. Yeah, the hike was kind of nice actually, wasn't it? Not many people out here, so it's like we had the whole forest to ourselves. After we made it and strapped on our gear and headed off onto the trail, it didn't take long to start feeling like we were entering another world. The trees so lush and rich and green. The trail steadily, slowly going up and up. We saw so many things on the hike here. We passed that meadow near the base of the first big hill. The path going right through it. So many wildflowers and bumblebees. And that deer just bouncing gracefully from one side of the tree line to the other. It didn't seem bothered at all by our presence, just going about its way, frolicking across the path. You got a picture, didn't you? You're so talented at knowing exactly when to snap a photo. I'll never forget the image of it, stopping among the wildflowers, looking over at us, the golden morning light shining all around, the dew still on the grass. I'll never forget it, but I still want a copy of your photo. It's like you capture tiny bits of magic with your camera. It's amazing. But it wasn't the only pretty thing we saw on the way up here. When we hit that first waterfall, oh wow, we could hear it before we saw it, so we knew we were close. Every step drawing us nearer. All of midday we followed the creek, so crisp and cool and clear. Clear enough in some places you weren't even sure if it was wet at all. We found that old bridge that crossed over the stream. It had gotten a bit wider and the water a little faster, so we knew we were getting close. Yeah, I like the bridge too. I wonder how long it's been I'm glad it still was, though. Otherwise, we would have had to hop rocks to get across. Although that wouldn't have been too bad, I think. But it was so exciting, since it was the midway marker we'd been waiting for. We were going to stop there for a little break, but we knew the waterfall was so close we couldn't bear to wait. So we kept going, and in just a few more miles, you could start to hear it. Distant at first, the stream getting louder and louder, and then the rumble of it, so distant, but getting louder, stronger with every step. And when we broke through the trees and saw it flowing over the jutting rocks, it was a magnificent sight. I'm glad we got to spend some time there. Let's be sure to do it on the way back too, alright? Yeah. There were some other really beautiful falls on the way up, but the rush of that first one, it was something else. We kept making our way up the mountain. It was warm, but not too hot. The leaves shading us overhead. The breeze somehow always wound through the branches to keep us cool. We saw all sorts of birds. Their songs followed us the entire way, all the way to the top, and even still, the wind rustling the leaves overhead. Sometimes the scurry of little forest dwellers darting about in the brush just off the trail. The stream had once again relaxed, calmed and narrowed as it flowed past us. All the sounds like a symphony of nature, our very own soundtrack. And now we lay out here, under the stars, in our soft sleeping bags, on a soft